Welcome back to another episode of What's for Dinner. And I heard y'all, okay? I heard you. We're gonna do it. A recipe box tour of my mother's. So this is it. And tonight we're gonna choose something that was a staple when I was a kid. Called tater toppers. Now, it's basically like sloppy joes, but better, because sloppy joes suck in my opinion. So let's get to baking. Well, cooking. So traditionally, you're supposed to take baking potatoes, and put them in the oven on 400 for an hour. But you can use mashed potatoes. And in my case, if you're a carb conscious girly, then you can use cauliflower as well. I have a small bag of potatoes that I need to get gone through. So we're going to make up those little things of potatoes, and we're going to do some cauliflower as well. So you will need a pound of beef, a small onion, a large tomato chopped, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, salt, pepper, a dash of cayenne, oregano, and mozzarella cheese. One thing you'll learn about Colton and I is we don't particularly care for onions or tomatoes or mushrooms or peppers, really. So you won't see us cook with a lot of those. If I'm using onions for anything, then I usually substitute a shallot in for it, but I don't have any shallots, of course, because, why would I have everything for my recipes? So we're just gonna get to it, man. Saucepan, medium. This is for your meat, and we're going to brown up a pound of meat. Y'all know how to ground up. Oh my gosh. Y'all know how to brown up a pound of meat. Hello, Wayways. In the meantime, we're going to get our small taters, and we're going to cube them up and put them in a pot of water to boil so that we can make mashed potatoes. I would like to point out that I've made this recipe since I was very, very young, so I won't be measuring things, but you can add things to your liking. So yeah, right now we're just going to cut up our potatoes. So I ended up having 5 or 6 little potatoes. So I'm going to put it on an 8, and then salt my water for my potatoes. And then you're going to end up mashing these, so cook them until they're done. Now we're going to get another pot, and I couldn't find any cauliflower, which is fine, but we're going to have broccoli on the side because broccoli is just the best vegetable that ever existed. So I don't care what anybody says. Next to a potato. But broccoli is a little bit healthier than a potato, so. Okay, so what I have in here is a pound of ground beef, and I've never done it with ground turkey, but I'm sure it would be the same. This is actually ground beef from a cow that my father-in-law bought, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and it needed to get 8, so we're gonna use that. The recipe calls for a half pound, but I don't really ever remember anyone in my family doing a half pound. I've always kind of done a pound at a time. So yeah, so brown your meat and season it with your whatever you want. So I'm going to use what does it say? Salt, pepper, cayenne, oregano. And then I'm also going to put in the blend because y'all know that's just the best stuff ever. But I'll show you guys as I go. While you're waiting for everything to come up to temp and all that jazz, do your dishes. And because I know no one is going to care or anything, but if you get one of these things, it helps you dice up your meat a lot faster. And just makes your life so much easier. Just go out and get one. They're on Amazon for $12, y'all. Just get one. I'm going to wait till my meat is mostly cooked, and then I'm going to season it. But yeah, let's clear out the sink so that we have room to drain our meat and all that jazz, because we have to drain our meat. Okay, y'all, dish is done. So we're gonna go salt. Well, this is salt. The other one's pepper. My bad. And garlic, because, why not? Also, my mom didn't write the recipe with garlic, but you can just add garlic to anything and it'd be okay. Come on, Renee. Onion powder. And make it hot. Some cayenne pepper. Put your broccoli on. Now, everyone say it with me. I don't have to use these same spices. I can use what I want. beauty of cooking, y'all. You can add whatever makes your little heart happy or whatever you want because, you know, you're eating it and it's going in your mouth. So, I mean, just because I don't like a lot of cayenne or onions or tomatoes doesn't mean that you don't have to put it in there. Isn't that the beauty of life? This is loose. Anyways, now that our meat is kind of like this, I'm just going to take a spatula because y'all know I just can't live without these things. And kind of chop it up. And once it's totally brown, I'll come back and show you what to do. So my meat doesn't really need to be drained, but I mean, I'm already over here and I'm already carrying it. So, this was like really lean beef. So, it's fine. We're just going to drain it off anyways. Because I want to show you a cool trick that I taught myself to do. Keep the same pan, by the way. Go put it on the stove. If you need to strain meat and grease and stuff and you don't want it, because you don't want to put it down the drain, I learned that one, by the way. You can take a piece of tin foil and kind of stick it in the drain and then put your strainer on top of it so that when you lift up your strainer, there's your grease. Like I said, there's like no grease in this because this was very lean beef. Back to the stove. Okay, turn your stove onto low. Now get your ketchup. And this is kind of just like to your taste. I'm going to do about that much. Because why not? If you want it soupier, add more ketchup. If you want it less soupy, add less ketchup. Now you're just going to stir everything together. And then add mozzarella cheese. And then I'm going to kind of let this kind of vibe and hang out a little bit. And then as soon as the potatoes are done, you can season your potatoes however you want, but I would not recommend doing like sour cream and all that stuff. I would just like mash them up with a little bit of salt. And you can add a little bit of butter if you want. But anyways, as soon as everything else is done, I will come back and show you guys kind of what we're going with. I also forgot to add my oregano, so add your oregano. Potatoes are done. I ended up using my immersion blender, so it's more like potato paste, but it's fine. Broccoli. And then here is your meat. I did put mozzarella cheese in here. I probably did like 3/4 cup. But yeah. Word of advice too, if you're a cheese person like I am, always sprinkle a little bit more mozzarella cheese up on top and it's great. Chef's kiss. All right, Colt. What do you think?
It's good.
Y'all hungry?